Before we go, I want to play some audio for you from Monday night, and it was so moving for me to listen to this. It was an Instagram live with Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, and she, for the first time, told the public what happened to her on the day of January 6th, when the terrorist attack took place on the Capitol from right-wing extremists, Republicans, etc. And what she had to do and what she went through in terms of at some point believing perhaps that her life was over. I want you to listen to this. It doesn't last long. It's not the whole IG live. It's 12 minutes of it. But in case you haven't heard the whole thing, you probably maybe heard a clip or two of it on cable news someplace or whatever. But I want you to listen to this piece of her story. She began her live broadcast on Instagram by telling all of us that she, like most women at some point in their lives, in her life, has been a victim of sexual assault, and that she carries that trauma with her to this day. And the trauma of the week of January 6th for her actually started rising and beginning on Sunday of that week, on the 3rd of January, where she started noticing MAGA people in her neighborhood, MAGA people at the grocery store, at the drugstore, whatever, wherever she went, there they were. And she thought it a little strange. She knew that there was going to be a demonstration on the 6th of January, but she didn't really expect to see them, I think, until then, like nobody did. Yet, of course, the Capitol Police and the FBI and everybody knew in advance, because they had been following the exploits of these crazies. They knew exactly what was going to happen. That's what we're going to talk about today. She, over the next couple of days, on Monday and Tuesday, and the 4th and 5th, would run into groups of them. They would harass her. They wanted to challenge her with their iPhones running, videotaping her. And she got increasingly nervous about it. But by Wednesday, the 6th, the day after the Georgia election, she was actually in a pretty good mood, thinking, well, they may be upset. They all lost, but we've got both houses of Congress and the White House. So she was feeling pretty good on Wednesday, the 6th. And it was around late in the noon hour, and she was back in her office in the one of the congressional office buildings where Congress people have their offices. And she was there with her legislative director, who she refers to as G. That's the first name that he goes by, G. And he was over in his side of her office, so in another room, in his legislative office. And she went into her office where her desk is and everything. And she decides to order them both some lunch, and goes online to see what to order in the neighborhood. And all of a sudden, she hears this noise. And she's getting texts from people telling her to take cover. They've broken into the Capitol. This is like around 1:15, 1:20 in the afternoon. And so I'm going to let her kind of pick up the story from there and tell you what happened. And then the piece I'm going to play for you ends as she and G are told to run from the building to another building to take refuge. I'm going to end it there. You can pick it. You can go online and hear the whole hour and a half of this incredible, sad and disgusting and terrifying story. She ends up in Katie Porter's, Congresswoman from Southern California, in her office, taking cover with her. So if you listen to the whole thing on Instagram, you can go there and listen to it. But I'm just going to give you 12 minutes. 12 minutes in the life of one of our most important members of Congress, a voice for the growing majority in this country. And it won't be video, obviously, because this is my podcast. It's just going to be, but I think you'll get in the audio enough of what it was like for her. So let's play this. Let's play this right now, and then I'll come back on the other side of it here at the end of it in 10, 12 minutes or whatever, and give you my goodbyes. Okay, so here we go with Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez, member of Congress from New York City.
So that takes us to about 1:01 p.m. And I go back to scrolling through lunch options for what we're going to order when all of a sudden I hear boom, 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 boom on my door. And then I hear these huge, violent bangs on my door, and then every door going into my office. Just bang, 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 bang. Like someone was trying to break the door down. And there was no voices. There were no yells, no one saying who they were, nobody identifying themselves, and just boom, boom, boom. And I just get up like this, and I run over to the legislative office, and I run over to G, and G just looks at me back, and he just goes, hide, hide, run and hide. And so I run back into my office. I slam my door. There's another kind of like back area to my office, and I open it, and there's a closet and a bathroom. And I jump into my bathroom, and I close the door, and I just keep hearing these bang, bang, bang. And I jump into my bathroom, and I close the door, and then I realize that the bathroom was the wrong choice. I should have jumped into the closet, and so I start opening the door to the bathroom so that I can. Oh, sorry, you guys can't hear me. So I hear these bang, bang, bangs, and I start opening the door to my office, and I start opening the door to my bathroom, and I'm going to run across to the closet. And sorry, you guys said I'm muffled, so let me repeat this part a little bit over again. Sorry, this is a little hard to hear, guys. I'm trying to, as you know, my phone keeps falling. And so basically, I go into the back, and there's a bathroom, and then there's a closet. And I jump into the bathroom, and I immediately realized that I shouldn't have gone into the bathroom. I should have jumped in the closet. And so I open the door when all of a sudden I hear that whoever was trying to get inside got into my office. And then I realized that it's too late. That it's too late for me to get into the closet. And so I tried to I go back in, and I hide back in the bathroom behind the door. And then I just start to hear these yells of, where is she? Where is she? And I just thought to myself, they got inside. And so I hide behind my door like this, like I'm here, and the bathroom door starts going like this, like the bathroom door is behind me, or rather in front of me, and I'm like this, and the door hinges right here, and I just hear, where is she? Where is she? And this was the moment where I thought everything was over. And the weird thing about moments like these is that you lose all sense of time. In retrospect, maybe it was 4 seconds, maybe it was 5 seconds, maybe it was 10 seconds, maybe it was 1 second. I don't know. It felt like my brain was able to have so many thoughts in that moment, between these screams and these yells of, where is she? Where is she? And so I go down and I thought I was going to die. And I had a lot of thoughts. You have a lot of thoughts, I think, when you're in a situation like that. And like also one of those thoughts that I had was, I just happened to, be a spiritual person and be raised in that context. And I really just felt like, if this is the plan for me, then people will be able to take it from here. I had a lot of thoughts, but that was the thought that I had about you all. I felt that if this was the journey that my life was taking, that I felt that things were going to be okay. And that, I had fulfilled my purpose. Anyways, sorry guys. So anyways, as I'm hiding in this bathroom, hearing these yells of these men, or just just one man going, where is she? Where is she? I start to look through the door hinge to see if I can see anything. And there's like a door here and there's like another door here. So I'm like trying to look through two door hinges. And so I look through this door hinge and I see this white man in a black beanie just like open the door of my personal office and come inside the personal office and yell again, where is she? And I have never been quieter in my entire life. I was just, I don't even know if I held my breath, but I was just, here behind there, and I just start sliding down. And then all of a sudden I hear my staffer G yell out. And he's like, hey, it's okay. Come out. So I'm like, I don't know, so deeply rattled. I'm still processing the end of my life when I come out. And I come out, and this man is a Capitol Police officer. But the story doesn't end. It's a Capitol Police officer. There was no partner, was not yelling, Capitol Police, etc., etc. But then it didn't feel right. Because he was looking at me with a tremendous amount of anger and hostility. And things weren't adding up. Like, there was no partner there. And no one was yelling. He wasn't yelling like, this is Capitol Police, this is Capitol Police. And he was looking at me in all of this anger and hostility. And at first, in my brain and in my mind, I'm thinking, okay, I just came from this super intense experience just now. Maybe I'm reading into this, right? Like maybe I'm projecting, like something onto him that like maybe I'm just seeing anger, but maybe he's not trying to be angry. But I talked to G, my legislative director, after the fact, and he said, no, I didn't know if he was there to help us or hurt us either. And G was actually like, this man came with so much hostility that G was sizing him up and didn't know if he was going to have to fight him. Like that is how like aggressive the situation was in that moment. And we couldn't even tell, we couldn't read if like this was a good situation or a bad situation. It was so like, like so many other communities in this country, like just that presence doesn't necessarily give you a clear signal if you're safe or not. And so the situation did not feel okay. And then he just looks at me and yells at me, and he just go down and then go to this other building. I'm not gonna like name the specific building, but he basically says, go down and go to this building. But he just says the name of the building, doesn't say anything else. But we're so rattled in that moment. And the situation felt so volatile with this officer that I run over, I grab my bag, and we just start running over to that building. Now, mind you, we weren't escorted. He didn't like come with us or follow us, or anything like that. So G and I just start running to this other building. We run down and we run to this other building. And it wasn't until we get to that building that we realize he didn't give us a specific location. He didn't give us a room. He didn't give us a place to go to. He just gave us, he said, go down. He told us to go to a certain level of a certain building. And that level of that building was street level. And so we can hear, because the buildings were not secure yet, and this is around the time when the Capitol was being stormed, that we can like hear all of these rioters behind the glass of the doors, and we have no specific location to go to. We're in the hallway. We're in like the Dunkin' Donuts of the basement, and we don't have any secure place to go.
And they ran to the other building and didn't know where to take cover because the so-called police officer, who never identified himself, didn't tell them where to go. And they passed by Katie Porter, Representative Katie Porter's office, Congresswoman from Orange County in California, ran in there. She was there. And they decided to hunker down with her, and they all hid out in that office. Her staff, Katie's staff, and also Alexandria's legislative director, G, for the next 4 or 5 hours until it was safe. They kept waiting for the National Guard to come, never came because it was blocked. We'll all get the whole story from this. We know most of it right now, but more is being dug up. Eventually, they went back into the halls of Congress, all the members and the senators, and they voted to accept the will of the American people, to certify the votes, the majority that voted for Biden and the majority that put both the Senate and the House in the hands of the Democrats. There were 147 Republicans, though, that voted not to accept the votes of the American people. 147. They're called the Sedition Caucus, and their names, we will have that on our site here. The names of the 147 that voted not to accept the votes, specifically that night, from the people of Pennsylvania and Arizona that put Joe Biden over the top. They went on after that horrible attack, these Republicans, to give the terrorists what they were demanding. to stop the vote of the American people. My member of Congress, Jack Bergman, in Michigan, northern Michigan, he's one of the Sedition Caucus people. He's one of the people that decided that he would decide who the next president should be, not the American people. So, Jack, we got your number. You're up for re-election next year. Good luck with that. My thanks to Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez for sharing that story with us. When I was listening to it and I was watching her, I have to be honest, I broke down. I've been in those situations when you think this is the end, when they're coming after you, sick people with weapons, and then the police and the military who support them. It's not a good place to be. And I felt every inch of her pain and her fear. And the good news is she's still with us. I'm still here. You're still here. We're not going anywhere. We got work to do. And Alex's good spirits and good heart will go a long way to helping us get the things that we want done in the United States Congress. And I want her to know that we have her back. That's not just rhetoric. We will all together, join together, all of us, to protect anybody who stands up for us. And we will do our best to stop those who are full of violence and hate and racism. This is not your day. Those days are over. Accept it. Accept it and move on. That's it for Rumble today, my friends. Thank you. Thank you to H.W. Brands, the author of Traitor to His Class, the excellent biography of Franklin Roosevelt. Thank you to Alexandra Ocasio-Cortez for letting us share her story of what happened on January 6th. And thank you to all of you for participating in this podcast and supporting me. And we've got, as I said, we've got a lot of work to do, but I'm up for it. I know you are too. So thank you. Thanks to our executive producer here, Basil Hamden, our editor and sound engineer, Nick Quaz, and to everybody else who had any role in making this episode possible. I appreciate it. I will talk to you very soon. This is Michael Moore, and this is Rumble.
He took office on a crippled leg.